Jay Higgins. I work here at the St. Louis County Historical Society, and I'm the Veterans Memorial Hall Program Manager. I'm the nephew of Marine Sergeant James Joseph Hubert, and we are here to honor on what would have been his 100th birthday. I thought about writing a big long speech, but I decided that the event should be kind of focused on three things here. We have a traveling exhibit off to my right here. We have a scholarship that's going to be in his name, and we have a documentary video that we're I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details, but I will read a short bio about James, who we're honoring here today. James was born in Duluth on August 12, 1921. His parents were Wallace Leon Hubert, and his mother was Mary Harriet Arsenault Hubert. 4 years and 2 days later, he had a sister, Elizabeth Jane Hubert. James attended school in Duluth, St. Michael's in Lakeside, and then went on to Denfeld High School when the family moved back to the Lincoln Park area of town. When he left school, he had a variety of jobs, including working with his dad at the Northern Cold Storage Plant. In September of 1938, James enlisted in the United States Marine Reserve, sailed the Great Lakes. He was on the USS Wilmington. He was honorably discharged from the Naval Reserve in January 1940, and he enlisted that day in the United States Marine Corps. Following his basic training, Private Hubert went on to join the Company H, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marine, 2nd Marine Division at Camp Elliott near San Diego. That was the unit he stayed with for the rest of his service. During his service, he rose from the rank of private to private first class, then sergeant, corporal, and then sergeant. During his time, he also learned of the birth of another baby sister, Mary Catherine Hubert, in February of 1941, who we never get to meet.
Oh, really?
She's sitting in the audience with the panel. Around that time, James re-enlisted with the drumbeat of war in the air at the time. Sergeant Hubert, the unit took part in the Battle of Guadalcanal and then sent to lead the amphibious assault in the Battle of Tarawa. More than 1,000 Marines, including James, died in the 3-day battle, and as 5 times as many enemy perished in that battle. The exact circumstances of Sergeant Hubert's death is not known, although documentation lists him as killed in action on November 21st, 1943. His casualty card indicates he died of a gunshot wound to the chest. And he was buried in a division cemetery, which there were several dozen of them on this small island, an island the size of Central Park in New York City. After the war, his remains were not found in any of the known burial locations on the island. Several have gone missing through the passage of time. All known remains were exhumed and reinterred at the National Memorial Cemetery in the Pacific, which is AKA the Punch Bowl Cemetery. Because his remains were not found, Sergeant Hubert is declared non-recoverable, so his name was then etched into the wall at the Punch Bowl dedicated for those who were missing. Now fast forward 60 plus years. Following the discovery of one of his fellow Marine companions in 2011, a non-government, non-profit agency history flight searched for and located an unmarked burial trench on Tarawa. It was determined to be Cemetery 27, which was AKA the Lost Cemetery. In 2014, family members were getting contacts from the Department of Defense asking for DNA samples, but there were no promises given. In July of 2015, History Flight turned over to the Department of Defense's WWII accounting agency custody of 35 sets of Marines from Cemetery 27. In May of 2016, the DPA concluded that one of those sets of remains was that Sergeant Hubert. So in July 2017, nearly 79 years after he started his military career, Marine Sergeant James Joseph Hubert finally came home. At his death, he was survived by his father Wallace, his mother Mary, Harriet, his sister Elizabeth Jane Dunphy at that time, and a baby sister Mary Kay Hubert. At his reinterment in 2017, he was survived by his sister Mary Kay Hagan now, and 5 nieces. Denise Dunphy is present. Terrell Dunphy, Dawn Dunphy Komatsu, Bonnie Lou Dunphy, and Kimberly Dunphy Horner, and 2 nephews, myself and my brother Mark. He's also survived by numerous great and grand nieces and nephews, as well as 6 cousins. Some of them are here today as well. Anybody who's wearing a badge, a James Joseph Hubert badge, would be likely a family member. Thank you for your service, James, and your sacrifice. At this point, I'm going to hand over the program to John Kuhn, the Executive Director of the St. Louis County Historical Society, and my boss, to debut the traveling exhibit entitled James Joseph Hubert, Duluth's World War II Hero Returns Home. Thank you.
Nice job, Jay. I'm sure that was very, very difficult. I know how much you are vested in this project, as are we, the St. Louis County Historical Society. James Joseph Hubert was born in 1921, 1 year before leaders in Duluth gathered to form the St. Louis County Historical Society. And so today we're gathered in the depot, the former Duluth Union Depot, to remember James. This building, constructed in 1892, welcomed thousands of immigrants from every country in Europe in its early years. By 1969, it had seen its last passenger train. In 1971, it was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. In 1977, it began its transformation into a heritage and art center. Over 2 million guest visitors have been here, served here, since 1977. 2 million. So today this building stands with another mission: to remember every veteran from St. Louis County, past and present. Since 1910, there has been a place in a county-owned building where veterans gathered and remembered. And it started up the hill in the county courthouse. Grand Army of the Republic, Civil War veterans gathered. Later, the wisdom of county leadership based the purchase of this building on establishing a Veterans Memorial Hall here. And Jay currently serves as the Veterans Memorial Hall Program Manager. How fitting that we gather today, Historical Society folks, the Hubert family, and the Community Foundation. 100 years after his birth, 99 years after the formation of the Society, the family of James Joseph Hubert and the Society joined together to unveil this exhibit. We gather in this building because our county's elected leadership promised the veterans of St. Louis County there would always be a place. So we're feeling pretty good today. We really are. Gathering with the family to unveil an exhibit, the 19th in a series of traveling exhibits that will go to schools and any place where there is a suitable space where the public can gather. We're gathered here to talk about a documentary, and now you'll hear about a scholarship. And you'll hear about that from Mr. Florkey, the head of the Duluth Superior Community Foundation. Welcome, Sean.
I can't speak behind stuff like that. It scares me. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Jay and Mary know the moment I met them, I had just learned my son, who's a Marine in Camp Fuji in Japan, was coming home to visit us. So I walked in, and I was still trying to figure out how to sneak him past his mom and keep it secret. So this means a ton to be here. I'm going to leave early because I'm going to go do his wedding tonight, so that'll be kind of fun too. I'm from the Community Foundation. I wanted to share with you a letter I got Saturday from a man who we gave a scholarship to, and it's what you can expect in scholarships. It's these beautiful stories of people who couldn't, and folks reached out to help them, and they could. It's that ability to give people a hand forward. Somebody walking beside you, and I think and this is dedicated to, what are the words, Mark? Perseverance and dedication, is that how you guys wrote it? I love that. What more do we need in America than perseverance and dedication? This is just a short letter I got from a guy that really touched me. You know, I'm getting old because I got to use cheaters for my... he wrote to thank us. He says he's lived in Duluth for about 5 years. He has a wife and 3 kids. They got married when she was in grad school. He was going to go to grad school, and then the kids came along. He never went to grad school. He's working nights. His wife is a teacher. He applied for one of our scholarships to help get back into school after several years out. He says, I still work evenings for a custodial service, and it isn't always easy. I felt a real calling to help and educate future generations after I had my own children, which is why I chose elementary education. He says it's not been easy this past year, losing hours, falling behind, so the school maintenance mean a lot to him. He says, thank you again for the choice to support me in furthering my education. What a neat opportunity you're creating to reach out and help folks to move forward. We are honored, we are grateful, and it's a real privilege to be part of this as the Community Foundation. So thank you. I'm not staying for the order, so.
Thank you, Joanne and Sean, for taking the time to talk about the traveling exhibit and the scholarship, respectively. The event is a culmination of 4 years dedicated to fulfilling the remaining tasks of the work that just could not be completed in 2017. Excuse me. The last item was a documentary video outlining James's life, his passing, and his eventual return home. A lot of old pictures, photos taken at the repatriation events, and videos were shot, but there was no collective film that had been produced until now. I'd like to introduce my nephew, Connor Elliott, for being the one foolish enough to take on this task. He's going to tell you the story about the film. We never forgot him, Marine Sergeant James Joseph Hubert's long journey home.
Hello, I'm Connor Elliott, and I'm married into this family, so I'm not blood related, but I've definitely felt embraced and part of the clan now, so it's been really cool getting to learn a lot more about the family through this documentary and taking all this work and research that Jay's put together and trying to produce a product and something to really honor Jim. And what we have today is a 10-minute kind of trailer. It's sort of a miniature version of the full-length one that'll be out soon. And if you have any issues viewing it, we're going to loop it afterwards. So it'll keep playing. Feel free to stay in here and wander through while it keeps going. So yeah, basically the past year I've been working on this documentary and felt like it needed its own musical score. So my cousin Kyle is here also. He composed the music for this, so that's pretty special as well. And I think it's really what it needed to be its own work. And yeah, I think there's nothing left but to show it.
Thank you, Connor. I can't wait for November. I often wonder why I get so emotional talking about somebody I've never met. It seemed to come down to the old proverb, actions speak louder than words. James spoke volumes in his short life. Happy birthday, Uncle Jim. Thank you all for coming. We have a Veterans Memorial Hall off to my left, people around the barricades. It's open for anybody to view. At the far end of the other hall, we have refreshments and appetizers. And then we will run the video trailer on a loop, and there's information about the scholarship, and certainly take a look at the traveling exhibit. The traveling exhibits will be here at least 6 to 8 months, and then it'll go up to the airport, and then down to Ecumen, where Mary Kay, his sister, lives right now. So, again, thank you all for coming, and we really appreciate you coming on.